Hello and welcome back. Your favorite show is on. Cricket Predictor, powered by 1xBet. Today, we begin a new chapter that every cricket fan has been waiting for years. Yes, it's India's tour of England and finally it's here. The first test kicks off at Headingley in Leeds. Yes, and this time the Indian team is trying to step into the old war houses and to the English soil with a new captain, fresh mindset, renewed energy, and that's all we have update for. But again, India will play a test series in England under the leadership of Gill, a young captain and a solid coaching setup, and a squad that blends veteran experience with fresh young talent. Team India is all set to chase history. To remind you, India has won a test series in England only 3 times before. Under Ajit Wadekar, 1971, Kapil Dev, 1986, and yes, under Rahul Dravid in 2007. Now, it's history. When you play in England, these things are statistical glamour to talk to. Gill understands that and he's trying to etch his name in that elite group. But let's be honest, the road ahead is not too easy. With the absence of heavyweight like Virat, Rohit, Ashwin, and we also hear that Jadeja may not be a part of it. But again, it's a transition team. Well, with a 25-year-old captain, this series could well be the ultimate trial by fire. Yes, this should be the tagline of the broadcaster, trial by fire. England under has been Stokes, Brendan McCullum, the Bazball. They've redefined the test cricket and the approach is bold, aggressive, fearless. Yes, that's what you see in IPL, but that's what Brendan McCullum is known for. The big question for India, can they hold their against stone in the new age English mindset? Joe Root has been consistent and that's been India's problem. What you see on screen is Ben Stokes. His matchups with Ravindra Jadeja is quite to look at. Again, England batting for India. The most experienced batter is KL Rahul, just imagine. And Ravindra Jadeja has scored the most number of runs when you talk about it. Well, joining me are 4 of the eminent panelists. Well, that's all the introduction goes. We can't wait to hear the magic, but we have some of the best names joining us throughout this show. Well, but before we get into the introduction, let me just put in another word. Yes, in England, we are playing the legendary cricketers from the West Indies team. We're going to be part of the WCL Championship and we have an exclusive chat with Dwayne Smith. Remember Sachin Tendulkar's last innings at the IPL? Dwayne Smith was at the non-striker's end and this time he speaks exclusively to us about his England part and then we get on to the other business of cricket. Let's hear what he has to talk about his tryst with India, England, and he's looking for the legendary series that's there, which is again sanctioned by the English Cricket Board. Let's hear what he has to say. Well, joining me is John Nyambu, the former Zimbabwean cricketer, Sharandeep Singh, the former off spinner and also Indian selector, cricketer Noel David, and of course Toss Rizvi, the journalist from Maidan. Of course, we've got the former Indian West Indian cricketer also Dwayne Smith joining us. How does it feel for being back in the UK? Maroon again, swinging freely in front of the buzzing crowds. Dwayne Smith.
Well, it always feels great to be back in the maroon colours again and also entertaining the packed stadiums in England. I love playing cricket in England and I'm just looking forward to being there again.
Well, the WCL matchups are quite straight out of the fantasy cricket. Any bowler you're secretly excited to face again? Well, this is the legendary cricketers coming together. Of course, we have Chris Gayle, Pollard and Bravo coming together as part of the West Indian champions team. Your views?
Don't have a bowler that I'll say I enjoy taking on again. I just go up there and look to do well for my team always. So there's no bowler that I have any malice against or anything that I love to face or anything like that. I just love to have my own little thing where I look to score as much as possible for my team.
Well, let me welcome the guests that we have in our studios and also joining us. John Yembu, you're in England right now. What do you make up of the two clash between the two big teams together? Your views, John, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me on your show. It's always a pleasure when I get to talk about the beautiful game of cricket, and very interesting times here in the UK. It's hot for once. And yeah, two teams coming into a series fresh from having watched South Africa win the World Test Championship. I think in that regard, both teams will be looking to play well and start off this cycle of the World Test Championship on a high, so that maybe one of them could be playing in the final and eventually winning it. But two contracting teams, there's a bit of an experience in the Indian setup, but excitement of youth. England also are really trying to show how effective their Bazball per se is, and it's going to be like a tug of war between the two teams, and I'm sure we'll get very, very, very interesting passages of play that will keep us on the edge of our seats. And we're hoping that the sun will keep shining so that we don't get any interruptions, and ensure that we get very, very high quality a test series from two quality teams that I know will be able to entertain us.
Before I come to Sharandeep Singh, let me ask another former Indian cricketer, Noel David. Noel, when the sun shines in England, what does one expect from the spinner? Your views, and then I'll come to Sharandeep for an all-important question as a selector. Noel David.
The biggest advantage we get when the sun is shining, with because of the conditions and the dry wickets which we get, which helps the spinners to, get a little bite of the wicket. And that's why, we were a bit successful in England when we get conditions like this, when there's sun out there, shining bright, and, where the ball tends to turn a bit, where it becomes difficult for the batsmen to, make go for some strokes. But at the same time, as last show I was saying that this series is going to be one of the series which will be tested for a lot of these young cricketers which we have in the side at present. I know they are bubbling to play against this English team. We will be looking forward as cricketers whether they'll be successful in this trip, because looking at the England team, they've been they have experienced players. So I think this trip we will be looking for a good series against them.
Well, that's a good way to sum up your views. Sharandeep Singh is back with us. Sharandeep Singh, welcome to the show. Let me just bamboozle you with some facts. The show is called Cricket Predictor, brought to you by 1xBet, and the trivia here: Shubman Gill averages 14.66. and your junior Gautam Gambhir is at 12.70 in tests in England, and both without a 50. With these numbers, the coach captain scenario, let's talk about the scenario. They wanted a transformational team, they wanted youth. Gautam Gambhir wanted his own staff. Now let's talk about the stats. Your views, Sharandeep Singh. Would they be underdog? Would they be under spotlight pressure and everything that goes around? Your views.
Look, whenever the Indian team is under pressure, they play a very good and quality cricket, and we've seen it against in Australia also 2019. Then after the COVID, then the game 2020 also, they've gone with the inexperienced team and they won the series over there. So this time when we talk about that Shubman Gill don't have that much runs, don't have a good average, or talk about Gautam Gambhir, is the way he handling the team. So that's two different things. Now things will be totally different. Shubman Gill is in a very good form. He's playing international cricket for around 2.5 years. He's in a good form. Gautam is coaching the side for almost more than 1 year's time. So these guys know what's going to be. We have to do it. The only thing is the bit of inexperienced batting lineup. Now we still have no idea either Sai Sudarshan or Abhimanyu Ishwaran who's going to bat at number 3. Good thing is that Shubman Gill has come at number 4 because that's the place which Virat Kohli used to bat. Now he's the one who jump into the Virat Kohli shoes. Now he has to be take the responsibility, not only the scoring runs, but handling the team also. I mean, it's not easy to captaining the test side. It's difficult, and especially the England too. So the way Shubman Gill, he's a very mentally strong guy, and he just know that just few days back he just met Virat Kohli at his house, having a lunch over there, having lunch or dinner, whatever they're having. They have a good conversation over there. So Virat Kohli give him a few tips how to play there. So my advice to the Indian team is just go and give your best. Just play natural cricket. Just don't look for the records because
Let me ask you a supplementary question here very quickly. Would the captain be under tremendous pressure? Because here you realize that the highest wicket taker and the highest run scorer is a guy who's not in the favour. His name is Ravindra Jadeja, the old age warring horse. Do you think the entire size of the team, the mental stamina of the team and everything will be under the shadows and will be under the clouds as well? Your views, Charandeep, quickly. And then we move on to John Nyambu, who's based out of London, England.
No, I don't think so because their new team is building. So I don't think so. Shubman Gill is under tremendous pressure. There's nothing like that. I mean, he's gonna play his natural game, and this modern generation they don't took that much of pressure. To be very honest, Sunilji, and I think this is the best way of playing the cricket because when you're making a new team and the Shubman Gill is a new captain, so definitely pressure is over there. Where it's a test cricket, but just go and play your natural game. Don't look for the results, and you see if you don't go for the results, things will be follow for you.
I'll come to toss very quickly and then go on to John Nyambu. Jasprit Bumrah has bowled around 560 deliveries to Root in the test, conceding 286 runs and dismissing him on 9 occasions. Is Bumrah the key weapon and the only weapon that India has? According to you, Toss, welcome to the show. The former Indian writer who still writes, but he's a man from Maidans in Mumbai. Toss, welcome to the show.
Thanks for inviting me for this show. And first of all, I mean, it's great to be back talking about red ball cricket. We've been talking about white ball cricket a lot, but this is a good break and very much needed. But then talking about Bumrah, of course, Bumrah is one of the key aspects for Indian bowling right now. One of the match winners, the only match winner I can see right now because the team is going through a tremendous transformation under Shubman Gill. The key will be whether Shubman will be one match thanks to him. He's been in fantastic form throughout. He's been terrific. The guy has been scoring runs, massive runs, whether in England, outside England. He's been fantastic. He's going to be a dangerous guy right now for England. But when it comes to Bumrah, I mean, he's the only guy who can stop him because I don't see, I mean, Siraj is coming back. He was not there in between for the Champions Trophy. Prasidh Krishna is coming after South Africa. So right now, the weight will be completely, the responsibility, onus will be on Jasprit Bumrah. So it's going to be one good battle. But again, you can't completely depend on Bumrah right now, obviously, because you never know. He's going to play 3 games. So somewhere or the other, putting too much burden is going to be very, very difficult on this guy, somebody called Jasprit Bumrah. So be ready, be on the toes. Captain Shubman Gill has a lot of responsibility. He has to play out of the box, think out of the box.
John, let's talk about another battle within a battle. This is about Ben Stokes, who averages just 27 against Bumrah, who's got 54 runs, 2 dismissals, and 20 against Jadeja, who scored 62 runs against him and got him out 3 times. With such low averages, should India target Stokes early in the innings and using the right, left, the different kind of combination, slow, spin, swing, everything that comes into? You've been in England. What do you think of the pitch and the entire swing and the seam process there?
I think generally with the juke ball, you know that it is going to swing about, especially if the conditions allow. But seeing as how the weather is meant to pan about, it's quite hot. It's been hot in England at the moment. There's a heat wave. So I don't think swing will be an issue as much. And I think the wickets will be a little bit on the flatter side of things. But then that is the beauty of Test cricket. I mean, all these conditions, all these numbers, I think they go out the window when the game starts. I think it's whoever executes their plans better than the other for a longer period of time, especially in Test cricket. Like Toz just finished saying that we've been talking a lot about the white ball stuff. Now we're coming to the red ball stuff, the real cricket where patience and a mixture of aggression is key. How you make that balance is how successful you will be. And with those matchups, I think Joe Root is in the form of his life. We've seen him bat, and I think the way that Bumrah has been bowling as well, it's very good. So that is a matchup that every neutral would like to see. The best bowler and the best batter of the teams actually going at headlocks against each other, trying to snatch a victory or defeat from the other. Ben Stokes, X factor of the team. You never know what Ben Stokes will produce. Ben Stokes can come and smash a quick 100.
Let me get in Sharandeep Singh. Sharandeep, if you were to build a team like you did when you were a selector, you went through a very challenging moment as well, but if you were to do it right now, who would be your trump card and who would be your X factor here? Sharandeep?
My X factor in this match, we can say Prasadh Krishna. Now, he's the one of the tall who's bowling well, who's getting wickets in IPL. He's the one really what I just heard it. To bowl in England conditions is not that easy because there's a wind is over there. Then you have to adjust your length is over there. So Prasadh Krishna have a very good opportunity to bowling with Jasprit Bumrah and learn from here. If I'm really looking for building the team, instead of just don't look to the results because I know it's difficult over there, but still I'm not saying you have to lose the games also. You have to win test matches also, but this is a time for Prasadh Krishna because he is the one after Jasprit Bumrah we are looking at who can play for longer term because he had got that pace, he got that ability, he had that movement in the ball. He just need to learn where to pitch up the ball in England. If we do that, I'm telling you, Jasprit Bumrah, Prasadh Krishna are gonna big trouble for the England
Well,
batters.
it seems like the reunion of the off spinners. One off spinner moves on to the other. Noel, David, Noel. This trophy is called the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy, introduced as the new unified trophy for all the future India-England series. However, the Patodi medal remains up there as a big name. Coming back to Sharandeep Singh. Well, he talks about Prasidh Krishna as the X factor for the team. Are you worried if you have a player who's going to be dependent on the IPL star and IPL performance to be the secret weapon? Would you be somewhere secretly be worried?
Of course, I'll be a little worried because it's a transformation of from a white ball to a red ball cricket. Yes, he has debuted, in BGT. He's bowled well, but we have to see it's the first time that he's traveling to the English soil, and as we know that he's capable. At the same time, its experience counts there when he bowl to these English lads because they are well experienced side. So we all be looking, as Sarindip said, yes, he can be the key factor, but will he be the damager also? Yes, we have Bumrah, we have Siraj along with him to bowl if he plays in the level bowling. But will he bowl at the same tandem what these two guys will be bowling at the English side? So we have to look what will he bring into the table when he gets that opportunity to play in the level. It can be useful, it can be an advantage because of its height, the way he releases, the release point, the seam release position is super by Pradesh Krishna. But will he get that purchase of the wicket because the English soil, with the English wicket will be, maybe there'll be an advantage of the condition which can help him, but it will be a question mark, what will he do there?
Well, if Tos Rizvi's connection is better, let me ask him about the Bazball thing. When you look at the Bazball era, Joe Root has scored 3,000 runs in the 36th test match that he's played with an average of 57. However, the most sixes in the Patodi Trophy is Rishabh Pant at 11, MS Dhoni at 9, Joe Root at 7, Ian Bell at 7 and Sam Curran at 6. Bazball era. From IPL, you straight away get into it with Rishabh Pant at the top, scoring huge sixes. Do you think his lack of appreciation within the team, it's a very psychological question and I don't want to put Sharandeep Singh in a spot, so I'm asking you as a journalist. Do you think his confidence would not be at all-time high? I'm talking about Rishabh Pant, the master blaster. Your views?
It won't be. I hope it is, but it won't be. Unfortunately, the way he scored, I mean, it's not that impressive. The runs that weren't coming, they were dried up in Australia. Then again, you saw what happened in the IPL. Yeah, it affects It's definitely affects whether you play a white ball cricket, red ball cricket. If runs don't come, it affects you mentally. And just now, a few minutes back before the session, we were talking about how these selections have happened. I mean, the white ball cricket from IPL, a lot of players have been picked from the white ball cricket, and it's more about the intent, about the approach, the attitude, rather than the runs that they have scored, whether they have scored in the red ball cricket.
Let me stop.
For
Let me
example,
stop. You raised a very important point. Let me get a selector into this. Sharandeep Singh. He's spoken about the players have been picked. Of course, one of the name is Harshit Rana. Bhai, kiya kya hai? When you take a step back, do you need to select a player or pick a player? Your views, you know what I'm talking about. As a selector.
No, I have to be select a player definitely, not to pick up the player. That's not we can pick because no. Harshit Rana is a totally different bowler. He might be bring different type of variations in the bowling, and he's a good all-rounder also. That's why you go with an extra fast bowler who can bat also. That's a totally different story. And one thing, Sunil, I always feel like that. No, there has been so many talks about transformation from white ball to red ball cricket. Okay, how they picked up. It's just a color change of the color of the ball. That doesn't matter. It's all a mental game. You have to be mentally strong at any cost. Doesn't matter what conditions you are playing, what ball you're bowling, what format you're playing. Red ball, you're coming from white to red ball, just bowl on a good length, good areas, and you get the wickets. Batting, just focus it. You have to score 300 runs in a day. You automatically get scoring runs. Look at Varinder Sehwag, the way he changed the Test match cricket. Everyone keep on talking all the time that he don't have a technique or might be he not be success in England cricket, but he got the 2 triple hundreds. So this is what I told you before in the show. It's all a mind game. This
Absolutely.
Indian team
Before
just go
you
and
spoke
play your
about
best cricket.
brisk,
That's it.
you spoke about very brisk scoring. Before we get out of this show and wait for the toss to happen, I'll ask the closing thoughts of Noel David. Noel, is Jaiswal the secret weapon that India has in the batting? Very quickly, and then we'll wrap up the show.
He'll be the key player for us who starts off with the inning, and because he's got a lot of runs against them. He's got double hundreds against the English side. Yes, that's the Indian conditions where he has scored. But here he is bubbling with confidence. I think he's ready to go against them. He'll be looking forward. And the Indian management also, along with the players, will be looking a lot of runs from his bat. I think he'll be the key player to get us that start, what we are looking at as a key opener of the Indian team.
Well, that's all we had time for. Keep watching Newsx. We'll be back after a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere else.